Hey guys, very important topic today that we're going to cover. You can look at this one a couple of different ways. You'll probably see this as just a general sales tactic or some sales advice, but it does go a bit beyond that, what we're going to discuss. We need to go over the way in which we talk to clients, or potential clients at least. For most of your clients, they're going to be filled with emotion. Okay, even if this is an old case, even if their house got foreclosed on 5, 6, 7 years ago, most people are still going to have some pretty raw emotions about that. So when you call them and when you talk to them, some of them, as soon as you mention the house or as soon as you mention what this money is from, a lot of them are, not a lot, but some of them are just going to hang up on you right away because they are, and they'll say, I don't want anything to do with it. That house is dead to me, or whatever. They say a lot of things, but they'll hang up the phone. I have had that happen to me many times, and it's so frustrating because I know what I can do for them. I know what they stand to gain from this, but some people are just so emotional about it that they don't even want to think about it. They don't even want to talk about it. They don't want to know what you're offering. They just want to distance themselves as far as possible from this property as they can. And in a lot of ways, psychologically speaking, it makes sense, right? These people got foreclosed on. They lost their house. They lost, in some of their cases, a beloved piece of property. May have even been in the family for generations, kind of a thing. They a lot of them will disagree with the decision that was made by the courts. Especially when they've been paying a mortgage for, I don't know, 20 years, let's call it. They've been paying the mortgage, but then lost their job, and then all of a sudden they lose out on the on their house because for a couple years or whatever they couldn't pay. This is an emotional process, and they're going to be emotional. Even the ones that do talk to you about it and they don't hang up, which most of them will hear you out. When people hear free money, they want to hear you out. But even the ones that do hear you out, they're going to vent. A lot of these people are going to vent to you. They're going to say that it should have never gotten taken away from me in the first place. The court had it in for me. The judge didn't like me. I had terrible lawyers, on and on and on they'll go. And I don't mean to be callous or to sound heartless about this, because the truth is, on a very real level, I understand the frustration of that. I feel bad for the majority of them. I think the flip side of that coin, there are some people that probably totally deserve to lose the house. They sucked the system dry, and consequences of actions, kind of a thing. But I think a good majority, though, of people, they really fall into hard times and they lose their property, and it is what it is, and it just sucks. But they're going to be emotional about it, and they're going to vent. I want to give you all a piece of advice now. When you take these calls, or when you are looking for these clients and you are talking with them, you need to not be the emotional one. Okay? I want you to be as calm and collected and dispassionate as you possibly can. Now, this is a method that works for me, so I'm just trying to help you based on what I know from doing overage deals. You can work out your own method, whatever way works for you, and if being super energetic and excited and salesy and stuff, if that works for you, then do what works for you. But I'll tell you what works for me. It is being as crystal clear and straightforward and as dispassionate, probably not what you were expecting, but as dispassionate as possible. I treat these calls like I have a list of a bajillion leads, and this is just a Tuesday. This is just a Tuesday afternoon for me. This case don't matter. These are the facts. This is the money. This is how I can help. You can choose to work with me or not. It's entirely up to you. I don't use sales pitches, guys. I don't do it. I give them the facts of the case. I talk to them. I answer their questions if they have any. But I do it in one of the most monotone ways you would ever believe. I've debated actually doing one of these calls on video, but it's really hard to do because I would have to edit out their names and I'd have to probably cut their voice altogether because yeah, it's weird. I don't know. Legally speaking, I don't think I can do it, but I've wanted to, just to kind of show you guys how I do these calls, because truly, I'm sitting down in my chair. Usually when I'm on the phone, I'm pacing. I'm walking around because I can't sit still when I'm on the phone with people. It's just how I am. I will force myself to sit down in this chair behind me, and because sitting down forces me to be calmer, and it forces me to not be as emotional and energetic about it. I just have to treat it like it's my millionth call of the day kind of a thing, because I want them to trust me. Now, there's a lot of ways to get people to trust you, and we talk about a lot of these in the course, but on one of the more basic pieces of advice I can give you guys is to be calm, be dispassionate. Okay, look at how all the salesmen are in your stereotypical car salesman in a movie or a TV show. How does the stereotype play out? A lot of them, especially in the older shows, a lot of them are high energy. They're really trying to make the sale. They're giving you all the details. They're doing this and doing that. Obviously, good salesmen are not that way. This is the kind of more comedic side of that stereotype. Good salesmen know not to do that. But people on the phone, they don't know you. This is the first time they're really talking to you. So when you're being like, oh, I've got all this, there's all this money here. I found it. I think I can get it for you. I'm really stoked. I'm really excited. Let's do this deal together. Let's partner together. Let's go. When you're like that, and I kind of used to be that way because I was so excited. In the beginning, I was so new, and I really did want to make the sale. That's the other half of this, is that you are emotional, right? Because you really want more clients. You really want to help more people. You want to get paid more, and you don't get paid more if you don't get clients, right? So on a very real level, you are going to be emotional about this too, just for different reasons than why they're going to be emotional about it. You got to try and curve that. You got to try to rein that in, okay? Because you don't want to come off like a cheap car salesman. No offense to car salesmen. I'm not making fun of you guys. I'm just saying you don't want to be a cheap salesman, okay? You want to sound knowledgeable, calm, and collected when you do these calls. This is what works for me, guys. Do what works for you, but this is what works for me. When I am calm, when I am matter of fact, when I speak directly to them, when I answer their questions, that's it. I mean, I usually land those clients. It's very rare that I'm not able to at least convince them to listen to me. Another way that I do that, here's another free tip for you, is I'll tell them straight up, listen, if you don't sign certain documents with me, then I can't work with you anyway. I need you to sign these forms and standard contracts, or I can't help you anyway. So how about this? Why don't I send you these documents first? Let's not put the cart before the horse. Let me send you these documents. Take a look at them. Read them over. So tell me what you think. It's got everything I mentioned. It's going to have why we're going after the money, where the money more or less is, my fee, 40%, whatever I'm taking, that's going to be on there. And if it, anyway, it's going to have all the information that we've discussed that you need. You're going to be very satisfied with that. So take a look. If you have questions, let me know. And then I send them the pay. They'll get, okay, let me give you my address or email or whatever. I'll send them that stuff, and they take a look at it. Sometimes I'll have to do a follow-up call. It's always disappointing because I prefer they call me back, because then I know they're excited. When they call me back, I know I've made a client. When I have to call them, it usually means that they're either really bad procrastinators, which is a common trait amongst, probably amongst your clients, because a lot of them, they've all been foreclosed on, right? So some of them are going to be real procrastinators anyway. So that could be the case, or they're just not sure. They're still not sure what's, if this is real or not. They don't have anybody to talk to. So those are a little harder to convince, because then it's like I kind of have to jump into my phase 2 and 3 of giving them all the reasons why this in no way, shape, or form could possibly hurt them, basically, right? But truly, my calm, collected way of speaking is usually what starts building that trust. At the very least, it starts building that trust. I have told all my students this. Very rarely when I talk to a student about how they are over the phone, very rarely do I say more energy, more excitement, more this. I rarely say that, guys. I don't think I ever have suggested that to anyone. I will tell them this is a simple matter of an easy choice for them. They either want free money or they don't. They either want you to help them get it out because they don't know how to get it out. So they either want your help or they don't. But this is just a Tuesday afternoon for you. Okay, so you're not stressed. You're not emotional. Listen to them, by the way. I mentioned how emotional they're going to be. Always listen to them. Don't cut them off, obviously. You don't want to do that. Let them vent. Let them speak their piece. This is therapeutic for people anyway. So you want to talk about helping people. You know, people need other people to talk to, and I'm telling you, there's some real therapy in that. So at the very least, you're helping them with that aspect. And it is nice. It is nice to have someone just hear you out on things. So listen to them. But don't match their emotion with more emotion. That's all I'm trying to say. When they're done venting and they've said, you know, they should never have taken it from me. I got screwed out of that house. My brother messed me over. My parents' will was all whack. The lawyers, whatever they say. When that's over, that's usually when I'll say something to the effect of, you know what? That's horrible. I'm very sorry. That sounds like a pretty rough experience. Why don't we try to turn this around starting now? I know this isn't going to get your house back, but at the very least, I know I can get you this money. And again, I know it's not $300,000 or whatever the worth of that home was, but it is something. And I think I can get us to the light on the other side of this tunnel. So why don't I send you some forms to look over? Call me back if you got any questions. Let's at least start looking into this process together. You know, this is how I am. This is how I talk. I do not start crying with them. I do not start getting angry and, oh, judges are the worst. Don't you just hate judges? You know, I don't do that. I don't do that ever because this is a matter of fact thing, right? I mean, you don't hear even doctors aren't that way. I mean, even doctors are trained not to be emotional with how they deliver stuff. They're trained to be nice. They're trained to be warm to a degree. But doctors can't get emotional, right? It's part of that job is that, you know, bad things happen to good people. But you have to be even keeled. You have to be in the know, and you have to be the one who has the answers and can do that dispassionately, which usually means effectively. So I hope that makes sense, guys. If you have questions, if this didn't make any sense to you, comment. Let me know. I'd love to, you know, answer your questions whenever. But truly, guys, take what I'm saying into consideration. I've been doing this a long time, and this way works. It certainly worked for me. Okay, as always, we've got some free webinars. If you want to learn more about overages, I run the Overage Mastery course. I teach that, and would love to teach you guys overages. So if this interests you, pop on over there or send me a DM. I'd love to get you the links and the info you need. All right, guys. See you on the next one. Bye.